STR Kid Buu can finally roam free as the monster he is, but how should you build his hidden potential? How's it, everybody? Celtic Link here. We're back for another Dokkan battle video. In today's video, we are taking a look at the newly EZA'd STR Kid Buu and how to build his hidden potential. This dude has a lot going on for him, doing oh so very many things. So there's kind of a couple different ways you can go about his hidden potential. We're going to talk about that here in this video. So let's go ahead and start things off by taking a look at our copy of Kid Buu. So this is a screen grab from ours, and you can see we did lean into additionals with a little bit of critical hit, and I'll explain why that is here in a second. So this is our Kid Buu, if you wanted to kind of take a look at that, but otherwise let's go ahead and let's hop in and take a look back at what he's doing. So he is Battle of Fate Majin Buu Saga category key 3, HP attack defense 170%. He is greatly raising attack and defense for 1 turn on his super attack effect and has a high chance of stunning the enemy. His passive gives him key 3 and attack defense 250% plus an additional attack defense 40% with each attack performed, up to 160 plus an additional attack that has a high chance of becoming a super attack. He also has a high chance of forming a critical hit and reduces damage received by 20%. He also has an additional attack defense 40% up to 120 and an additional damage reduction 10% up to 30% per Majin Power or Majin Buu Saga category ally on the team, whichever has more members. He has an additional defense 100% plus an additional damage reduction of 20% before the character receives an attack 6 times in battle. Recovers 20% HP at the end of the turn in which an attack was received. He nullifies unarmed super attacks directed at him for 3 turns. From his entry turn, he also has a great chance of nullifying unarmed super attacks after those 4 turns. So what this means is essentially for his first turn, he can have up to 70% damage reduction. After that, it just drops down to about 50, which is still pretty good considering the amount of defense he's getting, right? Like, he's getting, after a couple of supers, he's got enough that he's over 1.2 to 1.6 million start turn defense with 50% damage reduction. That means he's tanking just about everything in the game, even in slot 1, right? Like that just, it's incredibly good. He's incredibly defensive once he gets built up. And if that wasn't enough, right, he has an active skill that if there's a Majin Buu Saga enemy or after he receives 6 or more attacks, he can activate and give himself an additional 20% attack and defense. So he can be even stronger. What this means is he can reach up to, 40, 50 million attack stats quite easily while also tanking in the process. So that does kind of lean us a certain way into his hidden potential, right? So as you can see, our copy kind of is what we went with, right? If we could see here, as a STR type, right, normally you would want to lean into crit for him, but since he already has all that crit built in, right, leaning into additional attack is going to give him up to 15 nodes, which is 30%, and additional 30% to do an additional super attack. Now, including hidden potential skill orbs, right, up to 25, giving you an additional 50% chance of doing an additional super attack. So pretty good there. That's what you want. You want him to do those additional super attacks. 1, to build up quicker, but 2, also just to put out the damage, right? His teams definitely need that damage out of him, so the more additional attacks he can do, the better. Now, as far as his sub goes, I mean, realistically, he doesn't really, like the Goku, he doesn't really need the critical hit, since he does have 50%, but if you don't want to rely on that 50%, you want a little extra backup, you could always go critical hit. Ours is critical hit because we built him critical hit before we EZA'd him, and these are the only skill orbs I have that have level 4 additionals. So that's kind of what we're rocking here. I would recommend, if you have the dupes, to change him, or if you can't, or if you haven't built him yet, then maybe go secondary dodge if you can. Just because it will help you out in the long run. Like I said, personally, I ended up doing this just because it's what I already had, and then the extra crit, while not a lot, does cover in case he does fail that critical hit roll. But I mean, realistically, with everything he's doing here, plus that active skill, you're probably going to want the hidden potential additionals and dodge over anything else. So, guys, that is it for the video. Not much there. This is our hidden potential guide for STR Kid Buu. Again, final recommendation is additionals with sub evasion. But if you guys like the video, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and in the comments down below, let us know, how would you build your STR Kid Buu? I feel like this is probably the safest way to build him. It's going to be the most beneficial to him in the long run. But let us know what you guys think in the comments down below. How would you build your STR Kid Buu? Otherwise, guys, as always, thanks for watching. And aloha.